Hey, welcome back to Metropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's currently a Tuesday evening, and we are goofing around a bit on the casual lobby of JNet. And this is quite the deck. So this is one thing I'm really excited about Worlds and After Worlds is people start posting their decks. There's been like that's a bad hand. This hand's not much better. There's been like a lull on Netrunner DB before Worlds where everyone has their secret tech and they're building behind closed doors and all that. And now everything's out, and this is a fun deck that I saw Worlds. This is the top placing Quetzal deck at Worlds, which might seem like not that big of an accomplishment. I think if you played Quetzal at Worlds, you're already in the top 5 Quetzal deck, so well played. But this deck actually came in, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 26th. Or is it 36th? Oh man, where are we at? 36th. This is Josh Gregory's deck, who you might actually better know as Net Jogging. He used to be making content on the internet, streaming content. And this is his Quetzal deck, and it revolves around, best of luck, have fun. It revolves around a card that you might have seen me goofing around on the channel with before. It's called Stim Implants, which is a card that wasn't particularly good in a world where Anarchs had access to Medium. And now without Medium, it's actually like a pretty compelling multi-access card, specifically when combined with Obelisk. And Obelisk lets you redraw. You can run R&D, throw out 4 cards, see 3 cards, and you draw 3 back up, which really recharges your Stim Implants pretty quickly. Also, this is Next Design, which is kind of a rush deck, and the fact that we're Quetzal helps a lot. The fact that we also have a paperclip is pretty good. I don't know if this is worth it. We want to stay above 6 credits if we can, because these sort of decks generally run a Brian Stinson. So Next Design's actually got pretty popular, which is kind of wild. But we don't have really, this is a pretty clumsy hand. Opening with a piece in our time is the best thing we could do, but we're risking Brian Stinson right here. But they also have to play a transaction. So the idea of this deck is get our money up, get our Stim Implants down, get our friend there, excuse me, what's his name, Obelisk down, and then every turn, every second turn, we can run see all of HQ, we can run see the top 4 cards on R&D and recharge that reasonably well. Next Design could maybe go a bit faster than us, but this deck is actually particularly fast, and we'll see if that works out. Right now, we need to get our stuff on the table, we need to get a bit of money. There's actually a real good reason why you'd want to be drawing, just so that you open with, what's it called? You can open with Peace in Our Time. So what is this? I don't know. They would have to res, if it's barriers, they have to res multiple barriers. The worst thing that could hit us here is Architect, and then they can actually get a lot of value. Do we want to charge this? If we charge it, we charge our first click so we can click through Turing, and they don't have a lot of money, so if they res ice, it's going to be good for us. Regardless. We got to keep them slowed down, because 7 credits is not a lot. Oh wow. What is this? What the heck is going on? Whoa, that was easy. Oh, okay. No idea what that's about, but we got an agenda, so that's good for us. There's a piece in our time that we want. Not a lot to be doing right now. I think actually we might just want a career fair at the Salsat Slums, as not great as that is. These decks sometimes run Ash, and it's nice to get Ash out of there, but oh, it's not great. And we're still under Brian Stinson value. I really don't know why that ice didn't get through. If they had 2 barriers, that'd been really good. And there's the Ultraviolet Clearance. Now, they can jam an agenda into this remote. They have the credits now that they need, and it's assembly lines, which is pretty good for them. They can install onto their card. But I think we're just actually on a piece in their times here. They have the money. I don't think we can get into this server. Oh, all the assembly lines, the whole line. This also means they probably have multiple agendas on HQ. That's the thing about Next Design. Oh, there's probably a lot of agendas in there. But I think we need our money. Yeah, we really need our money. We need a setup to do what this deck does. But if they install 3 ice and then redraw their hand, they're more than likely to draw agendas. The fact that they jammed one, I think there's probably 3 or 4 agendas in here. So running HQ is probably the right thing to do. But then we can't play this. I don't think we need to play this. Let's go HQ and see what this is. And we're above Brian Stinson value, so they can't get it. I think we're going to get an agenda here. MCA austerity policy. We can remove that from the game. We definitely want to do that. Okay. We can run again. We haven't seen the restricted card. Fairchild 3.0 will blow us out relatively hard, so we don't exactly want to do that. I think we draw once. We have to click for 2 credits. We can throw out 1 copy of Obelisk. Man, if we had a career fair, huh? Removing this from the game is okay. It means they can't restore it, but it's not actually that important. And David might not be that good. So we'll just take 2. Next turn, we can jam Peace in Our Time, set up our Earthrise draw. We have 2 more Obelisks in the deck, and we don't really need it until we're set up. It's way too expensive to play right away, so we're going to wait a bit. It looks like they go in Solid Advance, probably Global Food Initiative. That's my guess. And this is the last turn because we can't piece in our time next turn. So we're just going to give them money and setup. This also could be a big Vitruvius. I don't know. Could be. And that's the beginning of our combo. We have just about everything. So we could show them that we have the Severnius stim implants. I don't know if we really need to right away. And then how many breakers do we have access to? Only one of them. So as long as we go first click, we're probably okay. I think it's more important to get the Obelisk down first. And then we can Severnius and then surprise them. The Obelisk is not a surprise. The Severnius might be a surprise. And if they just score a food, it doesn't do anything good for them. Oh, it's elective upgrades. That's actually relatively bad. So that means Fairchild 3.0 is still on the table. It also means that they can fast advance 2 Vitruviuses from hand and we lose. So we gotta go find those. We have to find those right now. Let's go. We get some value with the Obelisk instead of Severnius, which Severnius actually wouldn't get to. IP block. Oh, that's easy. Install paperclip? No. So we just click through one of the subroutines. So we just Quetzal. Yeah, we Quetzal the first one, so it doesn't do anything. We can always trace through this. They have more money than us. That's a Miraju. That's 2 influence. That's good to know. And we draw a card, which is pretty sweet. But I'm actually relatively scared. So I think we have to get ready and go. We can go through here now. We could also break it with paperclip. We're not going to draw a lot of cards because we just don't have those cards. Sorry, with Obelisk, we've already used Obelisk. But we could go HQ and access 1, 2, 3 cards. And that's relatively good if they've scored this. And they threw one of those out. I don't know what's going on. I think we go for it. And you see what this combo does. It's not going to look too impressive because we already got our Obelisk draw. But I think we should probably give this a shot. And it'll be what? Oh, if we install our paperclip, though, it's going to be 7 credits. And then we're really weak to MCS, or to Brian Stinson. So I don't know if we have to do that. This current has very little value. They've rezzed a lot of things. We could run R&D, but again, Fairchild 3.0 is an issue, so I guess we could just put down our David and not have to worry about it and click for 1, so we're above board for Brian Stinson, who's always a threat. But I'm pretty sure they could fast advance out right here, a 3-2, and then puts them on game point, and then we have to go really, really, really aggressively. We have to access all of HQ or we lose. So double ice. Every central server, they understand what kind of pressure we can put on. Less cards in HQ. One of those could be a Miraju, but they just violate level clearance up, so there's actually a lot of value of running HQ right now because they have a lot of cards that they have no control over. I think the best top deck we could possibly get here is for Earthrise is like 1 Sure Gamble and then 1 Breaker, hopefully actually an MK Ultra, and then we can just charge through this. So let's see, get us a Gamble and Ultra. Grappling Hook. So this might be a weird include. Why is Grappling Hook in this deck? It's actually really good in the Worlds meta because a lot of people are playing Ashik Aru in Cerebral Imaging, and that ice has a lot of subroutines. Also, Tour Guide is not unpopular, as is, what's it called, Komainu. So this actually deals with those things relatively well. And we could not run this turn and play this, which might be a mistake. I actually kind of like running now, but we don't have enough money. I don't actually think we can afford to. So we can just slam Grappling Hook, slam this down. We can also like test run for our MK Ultra to put it on the table, to put it on top of our stack, so that when we draw with Earthrise, I think actually that seems pretty fun. So we'll search our stack for an MK Ultra. You might think like, well, we're not going to use it this turn. And that's correct. We're not going to use it this turn. We actually could run HQ for 1. It's not terrible. Oh yeah, no, we can't run this turn. I like how I actually stopped you from trying. So I think we just click for a credit, and then the MK Ultra goes back on our stack, so we'll draw, and then we can trash it with our Severnius stim implants before we run. So we know we'll be safe. And if we're unlucky, which I think, oh, we're actually fine. So we can choose to charge that remote, we can choose to charge all of HQ, and IPO puts them on 22 credits. And we actually got all our breakers, which is relatively good. So let's go. Let's go. So we can see all of HQ. If this is an agenda, it's a 4-2 agenda, and they can score it out next turn, which is relatively scary. I don't think we know any of the cards in here. I'm assuming Mirage is right here, which is an issue. And I don't know if we have enough credits for R&D. We're not particularly good at charging remotes also for what it's worth. So let's go and see all of HQ. So we'll go HQ, we can throw out a bunch of cards. So we don't want this, we don't want that. So that's some cards already. This is useless. So we can throw out 2 more cards to see. There's no point, we'll already see 3 cards. That's the best we can do. And then we draw back up, and it's relatively good. That's a relatively good pressure. So this is going to fire. We don't need to install Paperclip. We'll just Quetzal through the one that gives us a tag. And then we'll see everything here. I'm assuming there is no thing in here. That's a Turing. So I guess last click we go through here. Yeah, I think there's an agenda in there. I think it makes a lot of sense. And they'll spend a lot of money resing this stuff. We can get through most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. That's an IQ, strength 3. So we'll break it. We'll just make sure we don't go too poor. It's a shame, actually, that we might have wanted to use our vanilla. Oh, that's fine. Paperclip. Ah, that's actually expensive. That puts us... If this is a Brian Stinson, we look super dumb. So I don't know if we can do that. I think this actually might end the run here. That's kind of a shame. That is actually a shame. Yeah, it's too big of a risk. We know that they don't have it here, so the question is whether this is or not a Brian Stinson. Let's just say that they don't have Brian Stinson, and this isn't it. So let's break. We can continue. If this is a Sentry, it's gonna suck a bit. Just a bit. It's a Satyr Adaptive Barrier. Thank God. David's strength. That's actually what we want to Quetzal through. That's the most value. And that is a Vitruvius. That made a lot of sense. They could have fast advanced that from hand. Maybe they wanted to get a token on it. Now, a lot of these cards have a lot of value. This is Hunting Grounds is only particularly good against IP block, and we don't have an AI. We do have one AI in their deck, but I don't know if we're actually going to use it. So I don't think we want this. This is really good because that's card draw. This is actually very good because we can now win with one more agenda, the Freedom Through Equality, and that's very valuable. And the Levy is important. We do have a same old thing in our deck, though, so it's not necessary. Strictly necessary, but we now know we can get through this remote for relatively cheap. I think it will be at worst 6 credits and a David counter, which is relatively good. Also, grappling hook might not be good in this deck unless they're running Fairchild 3. Then you break it for 3 credits and a grappling hook, which is not terrible. Not terrible at all. So I already totally forgot what we accessed from HQ, but we have a pretty good read on what they're capable of. That, I don't think we saw an ice. I think we saw a hedge fund. I don't remember what we saw. That's not good. I gotta pay more attention. So they probably didn't get Brian Stinson. If they get Brian Stinson now, they can't still use it. They have to install it. So we're gonna have time to claw ourselves back up to 5 credits. Now, hopefully the wins on R&D. They have 12 credits. Not a lot of money. It doesn't look like they have a lot of econ cards. I guess they could hedge fund last click. That would make sense. We know they have that, but all their economy is tied into these operations, and a lot of them draw. So if they play the last click to draw, ooh, they drew twice and they didn't play hedge fund. That may actually mean they drew an agenda and they want to hide it. But we got to respect Brian Stinson. I fear Stinson so much. So we're just going to take a setup turn here and set up our draw. And then next turn, we can start running HQ and basically like filtering our cards. Or not filtering, cycling our cards for multi-axis, which is really fun. Don't have a lot of economy anymore. I think what we have one more piece in our time, one more gamble. So burst econ's pretty low. We have 2 more casts. It's kind of slow, but it's actually kind of difficult. Like money is relatively tight in this deck. Relatively tight. Ideally, there's a Satyr Adaptive Barrier in R&D and we save credits by just like going through it for cheap with Quetzal. And there's that hedge fund. Another ice on HQ. Okay. They look pretty scared. And elective upgrades, right? Like with 2 Vitruviuses out of the game, that's huge for us. They can't actually just fast advance out for the win. That won't be possible. And that's a really good draw. So we can give them the money. With 15 credits, they're probably able to res all of R&D, so giving them 20 is not like that much worse. And they know we have a DDoS. They know we have, well, they know all of this. I think the money's probably more important, and we can slam the DDoS if we need it. But we want money now, so. Yeah, that's probably it. Just take a credit here. We can slam the DDoS, but they know we have it anyways. Yeah, whatever, we'll slam it. There's no more career fair, I don't think. Yeah, so it's fine. It was never going to get better than that. And that's an ultraviolet, so now running HQ is really good. They could put an agenda into the server, and if it's a 4-2 agenda into their remote server, they can actually not fast advance it, but never advance score it next turn by using the elective upgrades counter, which gives them an extra click. And that can be an issue. I'm pretty sure right now, ooh, quite a server. I'm pretty sure right now we actually want to be running HQ. And the Mirage-U's, I don't know where the Mirage-U is actually. All right. So we can inject. We want to throw out, ideally, a whole bunch of cards. How many cards do we want to throw out? Oh, we want to throw out 1, 2, 3, 4. That will see 3 cards. We want to see all of our HQ. And we actually want to play this too, so this might be a bit clumsy. Shit, so we hit 2 breakers. That card was not much better than drawing for a credit or drawing for a card. We play this card, so now we can run HQ. When we run HQ, we can use DDoS if we want. Yeah, I think we will DDoS here. Yeah, we can do DDoS. And we can see 3 cards, which is not bad. We can hold on to the Levy. I think it's the best card to hold on to. Second DDoS is okay. Actually, the Daily Cast is probably fine to hold on to, but we're going to need a Levy, and I don't want to say thing Levy. It's too slow on tempo. We lose a lot of tempo to that. We could draw another. It's not particularly great. I think we just click for a credit. There's not a lot of Biroids that like saving 1 click is going to be that big of a deal. So I think the credit will probably be better, because also Brian Stinson could be an issue. So we're going to use this, and we're going to run HQ. And we're going to throw out everything besides the Levy. We do die to Snare if they are running Snare. Generally they're not, but we're throwing out 4 cards and we're going to draw 3 back up. So Sovereignius Obelisk is like super good. It's really good, and they can't res that. This might be a Mirage-U. It's a Mirage-U. They can fire that. Fire. So they get to cycle 1 card from their hand. If they draw an agenda, whatever. So maybe they are burning an agenda here, but that's okay. It means they're going to win slower too. And we can just Quetzal here because we're not going to run. And I'm aware my ability is off, my ID is off the table, but I don't want to zoom out. Lateral growth. So things here, probably not going to find an agenda, because if they had it, they buried it. Hunter Seeker. That's good to know. We are on game point though, so that's relatively not going to matter. Maybe that's actually why they gave out. Oh shit. Maybe, oops. Maybe why they gave us the agenda. We were here. That's fine. Early in the game, they're hoping for the Hunter Seeker. And we have 3 cards left in our stack. We're going to draw 2 of them. So I think next turn we draw, run R&D. Oh, there's some value to Hacktivist there. We can draw, run R&D. And if that doesn't fail, if that fails, we just Levy our way out. Maybe we want to play Gamble too. Okay. All right. Again, I pay no attention to what's in HQ. We should, in theory, have known. We have 1 card left in our stack. I think we want to go R&D here. If we throw out, we can actually technically sure gamble because it's fine. So we can sure gamble and then, or we can actually draw once. If we draw once, we have 16 credits to get through this whole server. 1, 2, and we'll see 4 cards. Yeah, I think that's better. So we'll go ahead and run R&D this time. We'll throw out everything. They're running IP blocks, so there's not that much value in the Overmind. Also, we have like very little MU to use. And let's see what they res here. It's a Turing. That's fine. That's 3 credits. That's pretty expensive for them. We can keep going through this. Mirage-U. You can fire that for sure. So this cycles through their deck. It means if they have an agenda in hand that's really good, they can start fast advancing things out. Next turn, if they find the last 3-2, mind you, it shuffles a card back in their deck. That's okay. If we want to go again and let them fire it. I guess they don't have to, it's a May ability, so they're not going to be forced to shuffle if they want to. That's a Bailiff, which will save a sweet, sweet credit. That's a 2 influence card, mind you, and let them draw a card. Or, sorry, gain a credit. So let's see if we could have it there, and we do. Corporate sales team, successful field test, all the agendas, Rota Turret, and another Vitruvius. Good game. And that's what you do. Like, every turn, every second turn, yeah, all of them, eh? Every turn, every 2 turns, you can go and get a lot of good accesses. This combo is like way stronger than I ever thought it would be. Again, 36 that worlds for a Quetzal deck is pretty cool. I'm not actually sure if Quetzal is the best identity for this. We did save a bit of money, I guess. Like, no, we didn't really do much. But it changes how they play, and that's not that obvious. Thanks, you too. They can't rush behind barriers, and people are rushing behind barriers. I don't know how popular vanilla is anymore with Amakua, but this is definitely good. And if this didn't work, we just Levy next turn. We have 5 more cards in hand, and we're good to go again. And this is just really fun. It's just constant aggression. Huge shout out to Net Jogging for bringing this to Worlds. It's really fun. And thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. We got more content coming on this channel. We're working through the like pre-review, pre-unboxing of the revised core set. But otherwise, we're streaming also Thursday, 8:45 Eastern. Hopefully, you drop by. It's been a lot of fun.